Theorizing that one could travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Becket stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished. He woke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is Al, an observer from his own time, who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. And so Dr. Becket finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time that his next leap will be the leap home.
Hey, Jill.
Hey, Scott.
I am Scotty R37. I am joined by a neurological hologram named Antiderivative Jill. And we're talking about Quantum Leap.
Yes, we are.
How are you finding the show so far?
It's a bit of a roller coaster. Some episodes are really engaging and fantastic, and others are, they're cute.
Okay. Now,
but I still love the overall themes of the story.
I think you and I got into Quantum Leap with an expectation of time travel, reference to the time that they were traveling to.
Yes. And I guess the first one does that.
Well, and there's a lot of that so far, but the last couple of episodes have been very soap opera.
Yeah, but at least with Jimmy, there was a goal. His soap opera was actually trying to turn his life around and not end up in an institution. So that was at least something that was meaningful.
Well,
but and it had some historical things. So that one was a good Quantum Leap episode.
I just wanted to thank you for being here so we can continue this. Like, are we expecting Sam to leap home?
I think we know that it's going to take a while. It's not going to happen right away.
How many seasons do we have?
We have 5 seasons.
It's going to take a while.
Is this a business meeting?
Anyway, so last episode we did, as we see here, we see Jimmy, who saved Frank's son.
Yeah, from drowning. He performed the
mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
And then we leap into a lawyer in a courtroom defending the lady who's charged with murder.
Lila?
Lila, yeah, because her name is Delilah.
Mm-hmm. So help me, Cod.
Yeah, right. Well, if you look at the title card of this episode, it looks like Cod because the Quantum Leap font. For some reason in the Quantum Leap font, the G looks like a C. But it is definitely God.
It's a bad joke, and we did have a little bit of a conversation about it behind the scenes. And then I watched the episode, and I was like, no, we cannot make the fish joke.
No, that joke does not work because this episode is dark.
This is heavier than lead.
Mm-hmm. And it first aired on November 29th, 1989, written by Deborah Pratt, who's written a few episodes by now, and directed by Andy Cadiff. And Sam Becket leaps into Leonard Dancy on July 29th, 1957, in 12 Oaks Parish, Louisiana.
You know what? I really appreciate the fact that you got the but if you go back one, look at the guy in the mirror behind him. That's the reflection of Grimace.
Grimace. Yeah. Well,
that's what he looks like. He looks like a schlub. So that's some good cinematography. I like that a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of good. I think there's a lot of good visuals in this episode, in general.
Pardon me. I must mute my phone. I'm having a conversation with Antiderivative
Oh
Jill.
my god! And Captain Infinity is here, and he says, "Fish puns give me a headache."
Infinity
Okay,
gets
sorry.
it.
Yeah, he does.
Can I go to bed when I finish my...
Yes, you can. You can do whatever you want. Quite frankly, I'm not your real mom.
No, but I am. Good evening
True.
to Dalek 451.
Hey, Dalek.
And so Leonard here is defending the woman against the charge of murder. And it's hot in that courtroom. And that's a theme this entire episode.
A lot of sweat.
A lot of people are very hot all of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Central AC has not been invented. He calls for a not guilty plea, and the prosecutor said they had a deal for second-degree murder. To not have to, so that Lila wouldn't get the chair. But Leonard broke that deal. So now the prosecutor is going for first-degree murder.
Okay, all right. Sam shows up. Sam leaps into,
Mhm.
which is basically, how does your client plead? He's got a 50-50 shot. He looks at his client as he knows them, and he's like, not guilty.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Just by looking into her eyes, he has to make that life or death decision here. What is he going to do? And he goes with his intuition to defend her.
Works out.
It does, eventually. So, but here,
It's been a long road.
yeah, Sam tries to. Sam remembers the Miranda rights, thinking that might help him get her out of, because if someone doesn't read you your Miranda rights, sometimes the case can be thrown out. So he
Not
thinks
till the
of trying that.
60s.
But the problem here is that the Miranda rights have not been are not a thing yet until the 60s.
Right.
And where's the judge at? There he is. Okay, so
Who is this guy? Was he on like St. Elsewhere or something?
Was he? Well, you know about that. Was he on St. Elsewhere? Because
I think he was. I think he was a St. Elsewhere doctor.
his name is William Schaller, playing Judge Haller, and this actor has acted while he was alive for 63 years of his life, and he's been in 388 things. So, I mean,
Oh, he's a well-respected.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I don't mean any disrespect, but I recognize
Oh, I
him.
didn't.
But I recognize him
didn't
from
think so.
everywhere. I don't know specifically where.
Right.
He's
me
probably
neither.
been in every Star Trek.
Yeah. Okay. So in Star Trek, he was Nils Barris, the undersecretary.
Oh, he was Nils Barris.
Yeah, in charge of agricultural affairs in the Troubles. So
See?
there you go. Then, but that's not all. Then he was later returned to Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He was the guy who he was a Bajoran musician at Quark's Bar.
Nice.
So
I do appreciate actors who go both for the original series and Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, me too. And that's pretty fun. Of course, that's not to mention his other 368.
You know what?
86 roles.
Jill, I feel like an
God.
absolute. I feel like a Quatlu
Mm-hmm.
that I did not know that this was Nils Barris. With migraine?
Well, I looked it up myself, so don't feel too bad.
Well, I believe you. But this, considering how deep this episode is going to get, we're not even through the credits. Thank you for bringing up the trouble with tribbles this early.
Well, the trouble with Southern politics. Anyway,
Yes. Well, I've heard.
Since Sam is pleading not guilty, the judge is going to have to try Delilah for the murder of Houston Cotter. So that's happening.
Yes.
Captain Cotter takes Leonard home.
Well, yes.
Sam
Because,
doesn't really like him.
well, no, Sam does do a narration that says, I don't like this guy, but I need to know who he is.
But since he was obviously the man who ran this town, I had to learn all I could about him. Besides, I had no idea where I lived, is what Sam says.
Which is nice, because we've discussed that in the past.
Right. Yeah, that's an ongoing thing that Sam... because Sam not knowing where he lives is a thing, because even though sometimes he inherits some of the personality traits of the person whose life he's leapt into, he doesn't have their memories, which makes sense, because his own memories are Swiss cheese. Sometimes he gets lucky to find where he lives, like now, and the captain is sure that Lila murdered his son, Houston,
Well,
and then he uses the N-word.
he does. He drops the hard R.
He does. But
And
Alex...
Well, and this is, you know what? And we've had incidents of the hard R N word in Quantum Leap before, but that was also when he was playing a black man.
Right.
And so
And
this is
different.
a time that he gets to stand up and say, you better not say that.
Right. Yeah, he does. And he says, first of all, we don't know it was murder. Second of all, you can call her black, colored, or Negro, but don't you ever use that word in front of me again. And he does that again in this episode. So yeah, he definitely stands up for not using that word. But that's the only time that word is used in this episode.
Well, and I hate to be like a prism of 2022, but I'm gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you feel about this scene? Did you feel it was woke?
No. What? How? Never.
Well, no. Is this like this is
There's a
sort
difference
of
between woke and being a decent human being, and
right.
the two are not equal.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah, and that's my answer.
And I accept it.
Yay. So I ignored it in my narrative when the judge did it, but here Captain Cotter is reiterating some of the things that the judge said earlier about how Leonard must be, infatuated with Lila, and that's the only reason either of these people, the judge or Captain Carter, can fathom as to why Leonard is going for an innocence plea. What both of them, are really creepy about it.
Well, okay, first things first. This guy looks like Ernest Hemingway.
All right.
He looks like a man's man. He's got beards and he's called captain and he's in charge of everything. And if you mess with his cabbage patch, oh my, things are going to go south. Which I find fascinating when we get to Al. We're not going to get to Al yet, but it's going to be fascinating when we get to Al.
Dalek451 says, I remember getting uncomfortable watching this episode. Absolutely. I was uncomfortable typing about this episode.
I find this episode engaging.
He's being gross. He's saying gross stuff. So I'm going to skip. If that wasn't enough.
No, he's talking about the fact that he doesn't want his wife to have to deal with the death of her son anymore. And we have a nice, neat little package with a bow. And if you just let it slide, we will pin it all on her.
Yeah. And that's true. That's the actual plot of it. But the gross part I was talking about was when he was watching Lila scrubbing the floors.
Oh, yeah. No, that's also a reality of the time.
Mm-hmm. And if that wasn't enough, he insinuates a threat on Leonard if he doesn't make Lila plead guilty. So he threatens Leonard. And it turns out the entire town. Oh, right, Sugar. Like, is her name Sugar? Like, what the hell kind of name is Sugar?
I thought it was like Shuggy.
Oh, Shuggy? Okay.
Either way, she's a trophy wife.
I guess I'd missed. I had a picture of her. She's not.
Well, you saw him, and he's a schlub.
Mhm.
And you saw her. She's obviously a motivation for him. But, like, she's probably banging someone on the side.
I don't know. It turns out, the only information she gives is that the entire town knew that Houston Cotter was committing statutory rape on Lila when she was only a little girl at 14 years old. So everyone knew this, but no one cared about that crime. I don't know. It's really.
This was light Thursday night entertainment in the 80s, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, yeah, right. This is exactly what she doesn't say it in the words that I put them in, but that's exactly what she's saying.
Well, Jill, can I stop you for just one moment?
And she says she's appalled, but what she's appalled about is she's appalled for the wrong reason. She only cares that this is going to hurt her ability to get into a country club. Okay, you can stop me now.
Last week, I got acquainted with a family that was taking care of a handicapped man, right? And this week, like, none of the new characters are there. Like it's so disorienting. I am at this point in the show. You and I have been watching a lot of episodes. At this point, I don't even know what this show is about anymore.
Well, the only constants are Sam and Al.
True.
And Ziggy.
So anyway, we go to
You're right. And imagine if you were actually living it. If you were
exactly.
Sam.
And I'm not knocking it. I'm saying that's part of the engagement for me. Like, I'm starting to panic watching this show.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Oh, hello to Lemon Pie. And Captain Finity says the thing that makes me uncomfortable, as you know, is the concept of changing the past. And Cam says, hello. And says, hi.
Ahoy.
Good to see you. Not feeling well. Have an infection. It's getting worse. Oh no. I hope you feel better soon, Cam. Thanks for swinging by.
Whatever you do, don't die.
Yeah. No, he's a strong guy. He'll be okay.
Great.
I think.
That's a Jill endorsement.
Right. Yeah.
Either way, those are the best pants I've ever seen.
Yeah. Sam spends until 3 a.m. reading all of Leonard's briefs on the trial with only the knowledge of the TV show Perry Mason to guide him.
Yeah.
And Al spends the night with Leonard, who's trying to ask to be taken to their leader because he thought he was on an alien planet.
Well, no, and that's the thing. And that, that's the most time travel busting of this episode is that apparently, what's the guy's name?
Leonard.
So
he doesn't say that he thinks it's aliens. He just says that, and that's just where my brain goes.
No, but okay, so this is also something that is referential to the waiting room, where the personalities that Sam inhabits, they go to the waiting room. Yes.
Yes, this is the first time we get to hear about what a Leapy is doing in Al's time.
And so Leonard is in the fetal position for the first 12 hours. And the only thing he says after the next 12 hours is, I'm a lawyer. Take me to your leader or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, if your Leapy is not cooperative, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, usually, so this whole time we don't really hear much about the lead piece. So this is actually the first time I think we're hearing about this, and I usually just picture them passed out and useless. But now we know that sometimes they are actually conscious and know what's going on and are struggling. And oh, sorry, I was approving something. And I wonder if I don't know, right? Like if they don't cooperate, do any of them ever try to escape?
I don't know. We haven't watched that much of the show.
I know, right? I don't know.
We'll see.
But I guess it wouldn't. They don't have to worry about Leonard because he's too frightened.
Yeah, exactly.
Al says he spent half the morning in fetal position and took another 6 hours to get him to talk. So Ziggy says Sam is there to play Rhett Butler, like because Sugar or whatever Shuggy wanted to play Gone with the Wind or something. I have no idea what kind of.
I think that means butt stuff.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I don't know, and I don't want to know, and I was glad to not find out.
She was pretty, though.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Anyway, so he's getting all the benefits of a trophy wife, and then he's going back to win a civil rights case.
Well, no, he didn't do that. He avoided that. He avoided it, and he studied all of the notes that Leonard had on the case.
Oh, right. He didn't do any of the sexy times.
No. And Sam corrects. Ziggy says Sam's there to play games, but Sam says he's there to save Delilah from the death penalty. And Al says that was already resolved. She pleaded to a lesser charge to get 20 years instead of the electric chair. But Sam rejected that without, exactly knowing what he was doing. He just knew she wasn't guilty by looking at her. And when you randomly leap into another life, the decisions you make could be life or death. So Sam had to count on his intuition to guide him. And it told him she was not guilty. And after hearing all of the reality of the matter, he still thought so. And
hey, Scogli.
Hey, Scogli. Right. So Sam says, look, the point is, if she really murdered the son of the most powerful man in this town, a town where prejudice is as rampant as it is, do you really think they'd let her plea bargain for her life? They're hiding something at Al. And when I find out what it is, I'm going to prove Lila's innocent.
Oh, and he does. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to do spoilers or anything, but he
Don't
finds
worry
out
about
something.
that.
Wow. He finds out something. Wow.
Didn't do the sexy times. What kind of show is this, Captain?
Well, there's a lot of morality in this one.
Yeah. Sam is a pretty moral guy, but if it would have been Al, this would be a different show. It would be on HBO.
Yeah, exactly. Al would be the sleazy producer. So anyway.
So then they have this scene with Lila.
Oh my stars, a Negro.
And so they just, the lighting in this episode and the heat and the smokiness of everything is just really interesting. I don't know what to think about it, but
I really appreciated the environment of the episode because I don't think I may be goofing on it a little bit, but this episode is really fucking good. And I don't mean to swear on a Quantum Leap podcast, but this episode is really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, so Captain Kennedy says sex is moral now? No, not it in and of itself, but Sam thinks, oh well, this isn't really my wife, and so he's just like he's a.
Well, no, he doesn't want to impose himself upon someone that he's leaped into. He doesn't want to inhabit their body while they know each other biblically. I'm using euphemisms and metaphors, but he doesn't want to take advantage of a woman who doesn't know, or take advantage of a man who doesn't know that he is what he is.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the time.
Mostly.
But Lila's melting here, and just
She
want to get her a
is.
glass of water.
Rubbing her bosoms and such.
Well, no, she's fiddling with her necklace.
Really? Fiddling?
No, she's fidgeting with her necklace.
No, I'm sorry. This woman is accused of murder.
Yeah.
And she is going now. If Sam Becket in Leonard's body is unable to defend her, she's going to the electric chair.
Mhm.
And so Sam asks Lila, hey, will you defend yourself? And she's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, she's embracing the false story, even though she knows the truth.
Yes.
She says, I'm Delilah, the harlot temptress of the Philistines, who bewitched the golden boy of 12 Oaks and murdered him when he scorned her love. So she's just going along with it. And Sam wants to see the confession, the police reports, the coroner report, and everything on the case. But Sheriff Dixon is dragging his feet. He calls the prosecutor, Bo Parsons, to get his permission for the stuff. Not sure why it's up to Bo instead of the judge, but all right.
Well, no, he's the file clerk, and so he's trying to get like the confession and the investigation and the coroner's reports. Like, he's doing a proper job, which is something that Leonard would never have done.
Mm-hmm. And Sam gets the documentation he wants thanks to what he remembers from Perry Mason. He says, I'm defending the woman accused of murder. Now, if you and Sheriff Lobo don't start cooperating with me, I'm going to get a U.S. district judge to subpoena your files and charge you both with obstructing justice.
Oh, my stars. Thank you, Perry Mason.
Yeah.
Excuse me for just 1 second. I have to go get some vitamin C.
Okay, great. Wait. Okay. Scogli says, wait, what? That is hands down the funniest moment in Blast from the Past when you're using someone else's body as an avatar. Okay. Someone should tell that to Wonder Woman, says Captain Infinity. They definitely said mostly, though. And so Sam reads the confession, but he says it reads like a soap opera.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Okay, so what's the name of the guy?
Leonard?
No. The guy who shotgun face.
The guy? Oh, Houston.
Houston. So Houston had Delilah around, but after many years of sexual advances, he dismissed her. So she came back and killed him out of a fit of rage of being dismissed.
Yes, that's what the confession says.
That's what the confession says.
That's very precise, actually. No, Sam does not have. No, he's not in someone else's body. He's just assuming their identity. Oh crap. He's just. Everyone else sees the image of the Leapy, but it's really still Sam. It's Sam leaping in time.
We really don't know yet.
Yeah, no, I know. I've gone through this. I know the science of it already. It is Sam. It's actually Sam. That's why animals know it's Sam, and only people are fooled by the false image of the Leapy that is wandering around. That's why when Sam was a blind man, he wasn't blind. He was Sam. He just looks like the person he's leaped into.
Okay.
Yeah.
We've been through this before. I'm not going to argue with you.
Well, good. I mean, if at any point you have an argument contrary to me,
I'll let you know when you're wrong.
But I don't think I'm wrong about this.
I don't think so either. Yeah. Anyway.
So he's left into Leonard. Everybody sees Leonard. All the people see Leonard, but it's really still Sam.
Agreed. Sorry, I'm reading the behind the scenes chat.
You don't have to read that because you actually said exactly what is in there perfectly. I need a moment. I'll be right back.
Are you overwhelmed by the sheer architecture of whatever house this is?
Yeah.
Well, and this is when Sam sort of recounts what he's researched from the night before. And that's when we do get to Chekhov's mother-in-law. When you show a crazy woman in a television show and there's an unsolved murder, I hate to be sexist, but I'm pretty sure the crazy woman is going to be the murderer. It's just an idea. I would put betting money on it. So, but that's where Sam is going now. And also, it is connect the dots. We are trying to figure out who did what to whom and why. This isn't a matter of just finding the person. We have to find out why, how, what were the circumstances. There is a morality to Quantum Leap. It is making right what once was wrong. And whose choice is that? I don't know. You tell me. Me and Jill have been trying to figure it out for like a couple of episodes. I think like 4. Anyway, it's insane. I really enjoy it though, because it is about an attempt. Even when you do violate the prime directive, you're still trying to do well. And I admire that virtue and let's signal some Quantum Leap virtue. The original. Oh my God. I can't believe I'm one of those people who is like, oh no, there are children in a jungle gym. I would love it. Oh, I still have to keep talking.
Okay, wait, what did I miss?
I've been vamping for 2 minutes.
You do know vitamins are not candy, yes?
No.
Okay, so what did I miss? Did you talk about any of the plot, or were you waiting?
I've had 16 chewable vitamin C's. So we get to the house, and Leonard meets, what's her name? Miss Louise?
I like your pretend name better. Her name is Sadie Cotter.
Miss Louise?
Sadie hasn't seen him since he was in a fight with Houston when he was in high school.
Right.
She, oh my God.
Oh my stars. It's like Caligula at your house. I'm going to eat 2 more vitamin C's and then I'm going to throw the bottle away. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how you get kidney stones, I think. I don't know why. I think this is hilarious.
It is hilarious because you're mostly in danger for a really epic tummy ache. Sam goes to the.
I like oranges.
But he has to speak with Sadie before he can meet with Myrtle.
Well, he greets her.
Yeah, he greets her, and she gives off this foreboding feeling about what she believes is the eternal death of her flowers in the southern heat. And at this point, I was confused as to why this was happening. I didn't realize that there was something wrong with her mentally. I thought that this was some type of this was an attempt of the episode to put in some kind of imagery.
She said it, and I was like, oh, she killed somebody. I thought it was absolutely obvious.
Wow, really? No, I didn't. I was just
Right off the
confused.
hop, I was just like, "Oh, she did it."
I was just like, man, that's really creepy. What's going on there?
Well, she's a
But
murderer.
I guess that makes sense now.
Anyway, we have another example of Sam trying to collect himself while he's having a sort of a copacetic conversation with the people who agree with him. And
Yeah,
this is
Myrtle.
what's this lady's name?
Her name is
Myrtle.
Myrtle, and there's more
Yes.
sweating going on. It's hot.
Well, it's a hot environment. You know what? There are more people on this set with like spray bottles, like just spritzing.
Yep. And from the story that Myrtle tells, it's obvious to Sam that Houston beat Lila, and that um, Myrtle believes. Myrtle is saying that. Well, she didn't say it, but it's insinuated. We're not supposed to know already about Sadie, so we're still supposed to think Lila killed Houston in self-defense or by accident.
Right.
She says, all I heard was a lot of yelling and things breaking. And all of a sudden, that gunshot went off and Lila screamed. And then Lila opened the door, and there was Houston. He was lying on Miss Sadie's imported rug with no face. Yeah.
True.
Poor Sam. So here, the episode does a really great job of making everything seem dire and bleak because Myrtle won't testify and Lila won't tell the full story. And finally, at the 0 hour, Al finally shows up. When does Al show up? Wow, I have too many slides here waiting for
It's
Al.
actually I would say it's an Al sparse 2 episodes.
Yeah. What? Right. He just shows up right when he's needed and not in any intervening moments in between.
Well, but remember with Jimmy, like he had sort of contextual drama to bring to the episode, and in these,
Yeah.
he just sort of shows up and he's like Batmite.
Right. Right. He's just a superhero.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Hey, maybe I can help.
Yes.
Waka
Sam,
waka waka.
yeah, Sam pretends his fly is open so he can get into the judge's room to talk to Al. And at least that's a little bit funny.
In actual fact, Sam Becket just needed to air out his penis.
Al's jury appears idea is what they use next. So there's Ziggy. We do get Al smacking Ziggy.
Oh, it's so great. Like he fidgets with Ziggy so nicely.
He does.
Through both of these episodes. It's just I appreciate the characterization that Dean Stockwell does.
Yes, it's very natural. And so the idea feels weird to us for the jury of the peers argument because, of course, in our time we've gotten past this kind of racism so that the skin composition of the jury doesn't matter. However, since Sam is in a time of inequity, what seems weird to us makes perfect sense in this courtroom where respect for your fellow man is not right yet. However, this institutionalized racism is so dark and deep in Louisiana in this episode that they say that no one with dark melanin in this case is able to vote. And so they can't serve on the jury. Even though the 15th Amendment was supposed to give voters equality, this issue wasn't properly resolved until the Civil Rights Movement because the places in the South or wherever would do their best to disenfranchise the vote. In reality, until civil rights came around. So the only good thing about all this is how it seems like it is starting. This ruse. It's not a ruse. This argument, this legal argument, is the first time that Lila sees some kind of hope in this.
When she is accepted as an equal with her jurors. the peers who will judge her.
That's right. Sam says then this jury will be equal to Lila.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
How dare you? Says
Yeah,
Shuggy.
right. Shuggy doesn't like that.
Shuggy doesn't like that.
But Lila does.
Well, Lila's not really on board yet.
No, she's not, but she was kind of bemused by the attempt.
Does that man have to poop? Anyway.
Everybody is extremely uncomfortable. As
Yes.
uncomfortable as the audience watching this episode. And yeah, you know
Except
what?
for Al. Al's got a wicked hat. I want that hat.
Yeah, Al always has the best outfit, says Dalek451. And yes, Al's bright red outfit stands contrast to everyone else's dull, dreary, everything is terrible outfits.
Dalek, you know what? My New Year's resolution is I'm going to dress more like Al. Don't worry, I threw away my candy. I won't have a seizure this evening. I've already had 17 ounces of insulin.
Well, wait, where is it? Where is it that they talk about the confession? Is this it? Because at that point, Sam objects to admitting the confession into the record because of Al's idea.
He was under duress.
Yeah, but he can't confirm that with Lila, that it is true, her true confession, because she cannot read.
Right.
And no one's read it to her or read it to her incorrectly. How could she be expected to willingly sign anything if she can't read? Anyone reading it for her can just manipulate the language and say the letter says whatever they want it to say for her to sign.
Yes. And so that grants a little bit of time for Sam to go get lunch for Lila.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. So the judge is taking a recess to consider that information in his ruling. Either way, here we are back in Westworld.
Yeah, Sugar just
Shuggy
shows up. Shuggy.
Snooky.
Yeah, she's outraged that Leonard.
Snooky.
Yeah, oh my goodness. She's outraged that Leonard insisted the jury was equal to Lila, and Sam puts his foot down that she must call her Lila or Miss Barry instead of the names that she calls her, because I don't even want to say what she calls her. She calls her.
Well, neither do I.
It's not cool.
It's not cool.
Then Captain Cotter comes by to threaten Leonard that he'll never work in this town again. But, you know, he says it in other words. I just shorten it to the cliche.
I still think he looks like Ernest Hemingway.
And so then Sam brings Lila lunch, but she won't admit the truth about Houston, how he raped her, until this scene. When her description of the events of choosing life over death confirms it. And this is a very dark Quantum Leap episode, especially since she's refusing to admit to it. She won't. It's obvious it's true, but she won't see to it. So we don't know yet why that's the case, but we do find out that it has to do with Sadie.
Yes.
And
hey,
and but also she doesn't see it for what it really is, because it's the only intimacy she's ever known, and that is really sad. But finally Sam reads the actual confession to her, and as suspected, someone must have read a false version for her to sign, because now she's offended by the false language in it. And now that Sam she sees the lies in it, but still she won't testify.
You know, I don't want to be too personal, but I'm gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm a relatively submissive lover. I usually am a person who accepts the advances of ladies. That's my jam. And sometimes at the first, I'm like, I didn't like that. And then we end up spending 4 or 5 years together, or 3 years together, or 2 years ago, or whatever, a weekend in Maui. And like, I don't know. I think that there are romantic aggressors in any situation. I don't know what that has to do with this episode of Quantum Leap. I think I just had a stroke.
You're okay.
Look at Layla. Wow.
Yeah.
She's like, what did you just say?
So, Sam pleads with her to testify, but she still won't do it. So the confession is accepted by the judge, and all feels like doom, gloom, and quite literally hell. Everybody is in hell. And
It's
hello
very
to
odd.
Chris Longfellow.
Hey, Meringue.
Oh, and I'm sorry. This is
No,
such a sad
I think I
episode.
am.
Mhm.
Well, no, and Jill, we need a little bit of comic relief during this.
I can't. Yeah, I know.
So
So then, this is the perfect time for Sam to consider why Lila won't swear in the Bible to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And Sam finally comes up with the deduction that having to divulge the whole truth would incriminate someone else who Lila loves so much that she'd be willing to sacrifice her life to protect them. And that is the case. He has cracked the case. So Captain Cotter we find out that Captain Cotter made Myrtle swear on the Bible that if she told the truth of what she knew, what she saw, that she would go to hell.
yes.
And somehow this triggers both Sam and Al to simultaneously nerd out on the Bible, as both say Galatians to each other. Galatians?
Galatians?
Galatians. Yes.
Yes.
And Al says it's chapter 5, verses 7 through 10. And it goes, actually, I want you to read it.
Can you put it in the chat?
Yeah.
Thank you. Le privé chat. Is that it there? Yes, it is. Who hindered you from following the truth? Whatever persuasion he used, it did not come from God. I am confident you will not take the wrong view, but the man who is unsettling your mind, whoever he may be, must bear God's judgment.
And yeah, so that comes from the Bible to convince Myrtle to tell the truth, that it is that what Captain Cotter made her do is not, in fact, what God would intend.
Totally agreed. But this is one of those things. Like, okay, I like that this is a lawyer show, but they're using the Bible as we've watched Court Martial, where Samuel Cogley says texts like the Bible dictate the laws of man. And so to see the Bible be used as a lawyer book, it's incredible. I think it's fantastic.
And it really helps relate to Myrtle because it is a serious thing to her. And Sam wants to call Sadie Cotter to the stand, the mother of Houston Cotter. And this would be rejected, except that Sam and Al, they had the foresight somewhere in between everything to go get a subpoena and federal marshal from Baton Rouge. And immediately we find out that Sadie wants to help Lila. And it's clear in the dialogue that it was Mrs. Cotter who saw Houston beating Lila and shot her own son.
In the face with a shotgun, yo.
And one of the things Sadie says is she's about Lila. She's a sweet child. I know what they say about her, but those that don't know the truth shouldn't talk. And yeah, so yeah, okay. And she tells the story about how he loved Lila so much that he wanted to marry her, but yeah, I don't know if I believe any of that, but because he couldn't marry her. He beat her or whatever.
Well, okay. So, what's this lady on the sand? What's her name again? Do you have a good? Do you have a good
Cotter?
picture of her?
I don't
Sadie?
know. No, I don't have a good picture.
You don't have a good
Sorry.
picture of Sadie? She's a
No.
crazy lady.
She's a
She's
crazy
insane.
lady, yeah.
And her performance is fantastic.
She is. Yeah, no, I didn't notice it before.
But
But
yeah.
you're right. She does.
And all she wanted to do was and apparently, she thought that Delilah was she was part of the family, and she was willing to kill her own son.
Yeah. I don't
in
think she was crazy
protection of-
before she killed her son. I feel like maybe she went crazy after having killed him. Because Mrs. Cotter seemed she wanted to help Lila get away from the abuse. So she was giving her some money to get away to start a new life.
Yeah.
When Houston came home from hunting, and he realized that she was trying she was trying to leave him, so he threw her luggage. Lila slapped him, and then he began to beat her so severely that Mrs. Cotter thought he would end up killing her, and he wouldn't stop. So she picked up the shotgun, and Sadie put her son down. Oh
wow, jeez, Jill. Put her son down. Sometimes you have a way with murder. Anyway, that was an episode of Quantum Leap that was more like a Murder, She Wrote. It was heavy. I really appreciated it. Oh, and also with Delilah, she didn't know how to read, and the only
wait a second, but I'm not.
What?
Well,
okay, keep going.
Okay, so of course Shady shot him, but never realized she killed him, or did realize it, and that is why she's in this broken state now. This is my guess. I don't really know for sure, but it makes sense to me. And Lila was just protecting Sadie the way that Sadie protected her.
Yes. I agree with that analysis wholeheartedly.
And I agree with yours too.
I think Lila would have taken 20 years for Sadie, no problems, no questions asked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had no trouble with it at all.
Yeah.
And
so what happened to Sadie?
Well, I don't know. What did they say? What happened to her? No, they didn't.
No,
they didn't say at all what happens to Sadie.
Not.
But I imagine that she doesn't get prosecuted because she's insane.
She's a white woman.
Yeah, that too.
Well, it is. What year was it? 1957.
Yeah, something. Well, I can check that.
No, I think it's 1957.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Boy, you. You know what? We have to get like a Ziggy sound effect.
Okay. Chris Longfellow says, "This is a serious episode. I don't remember this being such a serious show."
Well, but this is also why I'm asking, what kind of show is this? What are we watching? We got into this for science fiction, but we're getting into Highway to Heaven, soap opera.
Yeah, definitely. Because in the resolution, Lila's moving away to find a new life like Sadie wanted. And she hopes that Sadie never remembers what really happened with her son. And Leonard is getting an offer for a big law firm. Lila wants to pay Leonard, but the only thing that Sam wants for her is for her to learn how to read. And she promises. And Sam leaps
into this guy.
Yeah.
His name is Ray?
Yeah, Ray. He's playing Don Quixote.
Oh, wow. How provincial.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you think of In God We Trust, or For the Love of God?
For the Love of God. It was, like you said, it was a murder mystery, and there wasn't much science fiction or historical context to really dig into, except unless I really wanted to dig into the history of voting rights over time.
Yeah.
And I did not end up doing that. I did a little bit, but like the poll taxes and everything that were stopping people from voting.
Well, it
And
is interesting in
things like
terms of
that.
signposts. At least it brings it up in your noggin.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
But not the fun history that I'm into the show for.
I was
And
I
I
was
have
gonna
some.
I was gonna watch a couple of episodes of Perry Mason.
That would have been something to do. That would have been
Yeah.
cool.
So, but aside from that,
Did you?
you know what? No. I think
Have
I
you
watched
ever?
the opening. Oh yeah, no, totes. I've seen like 2 episodes of Perry Mason, I think.
That was only one season. That's all I learned.
Yeah, but you know what? Maybe I'm thinking of Ironside.
Mhm.
Ironside was Perry Mason in a wheelchair.
Oh, cool.
I
I liked
know.
Monk, but that's a detective. That has
I
nothing
liked
to do with.
House. I was a big fan of House.
Yeah, like I liked it. I liked more the detective side than the law side. Scogli says, wasn't allowed to watch anything when I was little because my mom and dad were evangelical extremists and they absolutely loved this show. Oh, that's great that you at least had something to watch.
Do you guys mind if I take off my shirt?
Well, it is your channel.
All right.
So,
Thank you. I appreciate it.
but
Thank you.
I mean, you're not even on camera, so it's fine.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know that I'm topless.
Dog451 says, never mind, Jill. The next episode will be more fun. Right, okay, and we're done with it. We did it. We made it through that episode.
We did.
Oh, crap.
Absolutely.
Sorry about that. I need to
No,
turn
is
off
that the
sound.
halfway point? Should we move on to
Well, I didn't mean for it to be, but it definitely serves that purpose.
Catch
I'll
a
work on
Falling
that.
Star?
Yes,
that the
but
name of the
I'm
episode?
not prepped just yet.
Okay.
I have
And also, I didn't want to shame anyone. I'm not wearing, like, I am wearing a shirt. I promise.
Cam says that
I'm
he's
wearing all of my clothes.
I believe
swear.
you. Okay. No, that's great.
So the only thing that I'm confused about this next episode is what year he leaps into.
Really? That's the only thing that bothers you about this episode? Is what
Yeah.
year he leaps into?
That's right.
Hmm.
You don't like this episode?
I was well, you know what? I have not seen Man from La Mancha. So Catch a Falling Star first aired on December 6, 1989. It was written by Paul Brown,
Mm-hmm.
which and he wrote for lots of other really cool science fiction like The X-Files, The New Twilight Zone, Star Trek Voyager, and Enterprise. And this episode is also directed by Donald P. Belisario.
Directed by Donnie P.
Yeah, the guy who created this show.
Yeah, that's a landmark.
So Sam Becket leaps into Ray Hutton on May 21st, 1979, in Syracuse, New York. So 1979 is your year.
I was 1 year old.
I did not exist yet. And it turned out that Ray is an actor in a musical, Man of La Mancha, but he doesn't make it because the main actor shows up drunk when he shows up. So everybody's yelling for him to get on, but the actual actor shows up like right at the end.
Well, it was
right
a nice. It was a
Mhm.
nice reversal to find out that he was the understudy. I appreciated that.
Right, instead of the main event. Like the main actor. He's just like the backup.
The understudy, yes. I've been in many a theatrical production, young Jillian.
So have you ever been in a Don Quixote play?
I have never been in a Don Quixote. However, I would shine if I could find a proper Sancho Panza.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I could sound more pretentious.
No, you sound great. It's fun.
Thanks.
I don't know what to say about this episode, but I'll just say what I have.
That's Janine Turner. You may remember her from Northern Exposure.
Mm-hmm.
or Cliffhanger with Sylvester Stallone. This is an interesting set because they did actually perform Man of La Mancha on this set. And the end credits of this episode show them all doing sort of like a bow after having done it proper.
That's the most interesting part of this episode. I think
Absolutely,
that
I
was
agree. Yes.
And so
Anyway, Al has the best tie again.
Yeah, he does. He says, he says a bunch of stuff about theater because apparently he knows about the theater. It got him out of the orphanage. It got Al out of the orphanage.
I like that Al joined the circus.
Yeah. He says it's the world's second oldest profession, or maybe the first, because
prostitution is a performance.
Yeah. In fact, there's a lot of acting that goes into good, and then he gets cut off.
Al, why am I here?
Yeah. Ray is playing Don Quixote. Sam remembers the lyrics. And
do you remember the lyrics? I don't.
No. But in 3 days, John is the guy.
Cam's got to go. Bye-bye.
Oh, good night, Cam. Pleasant dreams.
You're a gentleman, Kimberly.
Sure. Man from La Mancha or Don Quixote? Well, it's Man from La Mancha, but Don Quixote is character.
You know what's really weird
they're the
about
same
this?
Characters.
So there's this movie by Terry Gilliam called The Man Who Killed Don Quixote.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Neither have I, but I ordered it, and so I'm hoping to get it.
Yeah, the only thing I know from Don Quixote is the actual original story.
Did you read
Spanish class. Well, no, but in Spanish class we watched the movie with John Lithgow.
I've never seen it. You should probably. You know what? And part of the reason why I'm looking forward to seeing The Man Who Killed Don Quixote is because of Lost in La Mancha, made by Terry Gilliam, which is his first attempt at making said movie. Anyway, I've always had a affinity for Don Quixote. I like tilting at windmills.
Well, I like him because everyone they believe he's a reader. I like him because he's a reader. He's a consummate reader, and all of his imagination comes from all the books he's read.
He's a consummate romantic.
That too. So the main guy who's playing Don Quixote, his name is John, and in 3 days he's going to do a Gerald Ford impersonation and shatter his legs. Oh, that was a joke. I didn't realize that when I first watched this episode. And after that, he'll never act again. Sam has to stop him from having this accident. And Al thinks Sam should relish becoming an actor.
Well, and also, so we have Janine Turner from Northern Exposure, and then we have another, like the actual guy who plays the person that Sam is supposed to save from falling off the thing.
John.
He's also from Northern Exposure, and also there is an extra special presence by a warthog named Pumbaa.
Yes, that's right. I'll let you know when we get to that because I don't remember the name. But the Northern Exposure thing, the guy, he got he got nominated for a Daytime Emmy for that.
Daytime Enemy?
Enemy, yes, a Daytime Enemy. Okay. Emmy. I meant to say Emmy. Sorry.
I'm only playing. So anyway.
Wait, one thing we learned that Sam and Al listened to Man of La Mancha while building the Project Quantum Leap. It was the only disc Sam ever played while building the imaging chamber.
I do adore that.
We also hear about the Leapy that's stuck in the rain room in this episode. So that this is the thing that they're doing now. I wonder if it's going to be every episode. Yeah, the real Ray is hanging around humming various show tunes. including
Oh, I was
Oklahoma.
thinking of Leonard. Sorry, no, Ray. Right.
Yeah, Ray is humming Oklahoma. I think he's okay.
Okay. Oh. No, but what is it? Okay, so and it's like the ducks and the mice or whatever. Ducks and geese and mice better scurry when they see me up on my Surrey.
You're on your own.
All right. Surrey with the fringe on top. From Oklahoma. Nothing? Thank heavens it's my channel. We'll edit it out in post.
Yeah.
So anyway.
There you go. I'm sorry. I'd never seen Oklahoma. No one's ever taken me.
What's he drinking?
I don't know. Water?
Sure.
But Nicole is there.
You know what? Okay, so the first time I saw Nicole, I thought it was Terry Hatcher in old makeup.
Oh. Well, she was Sam's first love at 15, and apparently he still has it for her.
His piano teacher.
Yeah, she loves Ray, and they wrote to each other.
Oh, I don't know. Do we want to go over how weird this behavior is, beat by beat, or do we want to save it till the end?
Well, I'll bring it up again. So let's wait a bit.
Okay.
She lost track of him when he went to Camelot. She's teaching piano, but then went for the theater, and then she was hired. And now she's an understudy too. She's understudying for Dulcinea. Oh, damn it! How do I say this?
I do not know.
Dulcinea.
Oh,
Dulcinea. And the other actor, the John is also going for her, so he likes her too.
Well, he seems to like anything warm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, John, who is the lead for Don Quixote, is a boisterous drunkard. He is played by John Cullum O'Malley. He was nominated for a Daytime Emmy for Northern Exposure.
Yeah.
I've never seen. But he's a really hardworking actor. I need a picture of him. Where is he?
He'll show up.
I guess
that's not a good one.
No, it's not. I know. I don't have any. No, I did poorly on my slideshows this time because I have no idea why.
You don't. Okay. We're going through the whole episode just to find John.
Yeah, no, I guess not.
I guess it's a time travel show. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We can flip through anything.
Well, anyway, the neatest thing about this guy is he's a hardworking actor. He's in his 90s and he's still working today, as of this broadcast. I mean, you could be watching this years from now and he might have passed, but today on December 15th, 2022, he is still working.
And for that, we thank him.
It's amazing.
Was he ever in Star Trek?
No, that was the only thing I was disappointed about.
So he has dignity.
Yeah.
You know, there is a certain point where you're like, oh, you know what? I respect a person who was not. Because if you needed $750, you could be in a Star Trek. Anyway.
I would work for Star Trek. Not right now, but when Secret Hideout comes by.
You would be a Klingon.
Yeah.
You would be a Ferengi. You would be a Ferengi.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably more correct. I am the height of one. Dalek 451 says.
I hate to typecast you.
I know. It's not fair, but there you go. What I remember from this episode is Sam actually telling Elle about not carrying on leaping.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like this episode, I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah. Yeah, we're not there yet. But yes, we'll get there.
I don't want to dismiss this episode that much, but like
Mhm.
this is all sappy. Sam is tired.
Yeah. So the original Dulcinea right here
Mhm.
wants Ray, but um
Oh,
I
and
guess
there was an on-screen
he wants to
hand
go to
job. That was
bed.
great. There's like while this is happening, she is actually giving him a hand job. It's great.
Yeah, but Ray gets so drunk he has to go to bed, and Sam can talk to Nicole, and she plays
And there's
piano.
all
Oh, there it is. Yeah, he's playing piano. Maybe and she says maybe you just have a thing for piano teachers, because he admits that he had a crush on his piano teacher.
Yep.
I didn't write all the details of the story down.
Well, because it's all he said, she said,
Yeah.
flirt, witch, where we go, and then Pumbaa has sex with the chick from Cliffhanger.
The original Dulciana. I call her the original Dulciana because I didn't learn her name.
Dulcinea.
Dulcinea. She and Ray were classmates. This lady, but
Either way,
she was Sam's piano teacher, Nicole, and Len. No, Len. That was the last episode.
it's a long story. Like if I can do a TLDR or TLDW, so Sam sees his piano teacher.
Go ahead.
Sam sees his piano teacher from when he was 15, finds out that she is a fully mature woman who has sex, and then finds out that possibly she had sex with someone else.
Yeah,
even though she doesn't know that he is Sam. She thinks Sam is Ray. And so he gets really upset and then considers allowing a man's life to be destroyed.
Yeah, but before that, the one scene that I do like here is this one. Sam can't remember any of his lines, but Al comes to help, and Ray is playing passion.
Yes.
Ray, Sam actually is playing passionately because he really does love Nicole. Ray doesn't. I think Ray kind of stopped writing to her and didn't stop talking to her at some point. And then she sings, and then Al says, "You're out of control, Sam. In case you haven't noticed, it's been a long time." Oh wait, and Sam says, "In case you haven't noticed," this is the part that Dalek was talking about. "In case you haven't noticed, it's been a long time since I've been in control."
Mm-hmm.
No one can be what he wants me to be. You can't. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. That's a song. Okay. You can't tell anyone who you really are. You can't change your personal history. I can't have a life. All I do is live someone else's life, right their wrongs, fix their fights. Geez, I feel like I'm Don Quixote, is what Sam says. And that's the only thing that I really, really like from this episode is where they have where I finally see what they're trying to do with it. They're trying to have a parallel between Sam and Al, as if Sam is Don Quixote and Al is Sancho.
Yes. And I really enjoy that as well. And I think that while this episode is somewhat sappy, silly, romantic,
absolutely is.
I know. I said that.
But the friendship between Sam and Al is at the forefront, and it is correlative to the narrative. I enjoy it greatly.
Me too. And like Alex said, it seems like Al wants to stop leaping and stay with Nicole. But Al says that kind of thing is up to the higher power, not you. And so Michelle, that was her name, the main lead for the lady in the story. Dulcinea. I had to be right back.
Yeah, no, you know what? Now that Jill's away, and thank heavens for this, I did want to give big ups to Nicole's cleavage. I thought that her game was, while exploitative, certainly pleasing to the eye and the shape. So that was your problematic quote of the evening. My name is Stephen Foley. Anyway, I don't know if this is a shot from Quantum Leap or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I know the gentleman on the far left of your screen is a stand-up comedian of some renown. I don't know his name, but I recognize him. And so, comedians of the past lost to time. Scott Bakula, once again. Everyone's first favorite Scott? Who's your favorite Scott? Let us know in the comments below. I'm trying to think. I think he's my favorite Scott. Followed by Scott Summers. Then me. Anyway. If you have people, I'm vamping until Jill gets back so she can change the slide. And we can end this particular broadcast. But until then, I'm going to discuss whatever the hell I want to, because I do have a microphone. I suppose I could interact with the chat. Cam says, night, Antiderivative Jill and Scotty R37. Well, we're not going anywhere, even though we're not doing anything productive. Dalek451 says, what I remember from this episode is Sam actually telling Al about not carrying on leaping. And you know what, Dalek? He does. He does. And I do have to say that at the end of this episode, when he catches Drunky McStinkerson, I was like, thank you for being a good man, Sam Becket. I really appreciated it because I knew how badly he wanted to see that old asshole fall to the ground.
Oh, you already went through all the whole entire rest of the episode. Nice.
Well, no, but I don't have any pictures. People want to see pictures. Look at this. It's the Riddler.
Oh, hey, there's a good picture of John.
There you go.
I didn't take this one. This one was from because I did very bad slides on this one. I got so kind of bored watching it that I forgot to take slides.
Can you send that to me so I can make it my Tinder profile picture?
Yeah, sure. I can send that to you. Well, it's straight from Al's Place. Is a Quantum Leap website, quantumleap-alsplace.com, where he actually, yeah, I'm giving credit to this website since I'm using their images.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really great website.
He's the gray ghost. Oh my stars, I want that shirt.
Really?
Yeah. I like how it's, it's kind of like circuitry, but guitars.
So I don't know. At some point, okay. So Michelle. Okay, wait, where the hell am I?
Where the heck?
Okay, Okay, wait. Michelle is angry that John gave the part to Nicole. She lies to Sam and tells him Nicole is upstairs with John. That's a lie. But Sam believes it because he hears a woman singing in the shower. But it wasn't Nicole. It was Anita. You know what? I thought that my dialogue for this was going to be better than your explanation, but it's exactly the same. For helping with that line, Michelle spends the night with Manny, who was played by Ernie Sabella, who played Pumbaa, the warthog. And wait, there he is.
There it is. So
Manny.
There you go. So there, ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing right now are two people on screen. Their characters, they had sex. I want you to imagine that. But then again, I also want you to imagine that this man is Pumbaa.
He's a big pig.
A warthog.
Yeah, no. Well, it's a scene in the movie. In the
Hakuna
1994
Matata.
animated movie, The Lion King.
Yes, I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's I watched it 100 times when I was a child, a young.
Luckily, I still am a child, so I have plenty of time.
I think I was 8.
Anyway, this fat man had sex with that hot woman. Moving on.
Oh well, because he lied for her. He did. He lied.
Yeah, well, they were
He lied to Nicole.
manipulating. Yeah, they wanted to manipulate it so that Ray and Nicole wouldn't get together.
Yeah. He says, yeah, Sam was willing to let the guy he's supposed to help go and hurt himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does that here. He does say that. He says that.
I also want that. I want that bathrobe.
He says, Dalek is right. I think what Sam says is let him break his neck.
Yeah. Oh no, he's vindictive. This is the most that Sam has been fed up with anything.
Yeah, because Sam is practicing the piano, and Al tries to remind Sam to save John, but
don't go changing.
No, he does. Sam doesn't care anymore. Al wants him to. Al tries to get Sam to do it just so that they can leap, but Sam won't answer when he wants, whether or not he actually wants to stay as Ray or not. And
it's a really.
And that's the point where you realize that Sam would be okay. He kind of wants to stay.
Yeah.
In this sleep.
He can be with. He can carve out some happiness.
Yeah, right. Like, what about me?
Yes.
I'm living all these other people's lives, and I don't get to live my own.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense every once in a while he's going to crack like that. He's not perfect. And that's what's great about him.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm having some side effects from eating so many of those chewable vitamin C's.
Yeah. Hold on, any moment.
And I wanted to let everybody know I've been pooping tangerines. So it seems to be beneficial. It's reproductive. Reduce, reuse, recycle, what have you. And it all works out. So. But yeah, Sam. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just talking.
They have another. Well, no, okay, you're okay. They have another performance. John falls. Sam catches him to help break his fall. Then Ray plays Don Quixote, and like the whole thing, all of Don Quixote. And I'll be right back.
Yes, you will be. And you know what? The thing is with audiences is sometimes they can be a little bit rowdy. But luckily in Sam's case, rowdy makes it so he can talk down. So I don't know, they do a bunch of stuff. I watched it, but I was more taken by the hijinks of it than I was by the actual plot line. I watched it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, I watched it. I was more taken by the fact that there was a moment where John, the original Don Quixote, he gets up. Sam is like, F you, pal. And then he catches him. And then Sam is the understudy, goes and does the whole thing with Nicole. And everybody is so happy.
So happy. And then we leap into a graveyard. And then there's a lady in the grave. And then,
oh boy.
But then the coolest part of this episode is what you mentioned earlier, besides the endeavor to put a play based on a movie into a TV show, is at the very end, during the rolling credits, there's a stage curtain call for the episode, featuring the cast and crew. Notably, Don Belisario and Deborah Pratt both appear here somewhere.
Nice. It was nice to see Dean Stockwell.
Yeah, definitely. There he is.
Graham Stockmel.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Those are episodes for tonight.
They
We did it.
were. We did. So what kind of show is this?
Well, they're definitely traveling through time, but I don't know. What kind of show is this? Well, sometimes so these aren't what I would call my favorite Quantum Leap episodes, but they're okay.
Okay.
What kind of show is this to you?
It's morality plays.
Yes, I'll agree with that.
And I appreciate the morality plays in the framework of like what Quantum Leap is.
Right. Even though Sam didn't like this guy, he still saved his life.
Yeah. So I don't know.
He said let him break his neck, but he didn't really mean it.
He couldn't ultimately. I don't know. It's something that I appreciate in terms of, you know, the best that you can be. Sam Becket is one of the best that people can be.
That's right. I said it right from the very first episode. Had I been stuck in the episode with the airplane, I wouldn't have gone in the airplane. I would have been sure that I would have crashed and burned and died. So I would have been stuck on that leap forever, and I wouldn't have been a TV show. But Sam Becket is different. He is a hero.
You underestimate the power of your owl.
I guess so.
Anyway, I am very much happy that Scoglie is here. My favorite Scott is Robert the Bruce. Sure.
Do you know who that is?
I believe he is from Bruce County. His name's Bob.
Bob.
Bob from Bruce.
And Captain Affinity's favorite Scott is Sick Boy from Trainspotting. There you go.
Huh. Is that Ewan McGregor? Anyway.
I don't know. You tell me. I'm the one who's learning from all of you guys who know all of these things about all these movies that I've only really started studying for the past 10 years, and really only science fiction so far.
Does it have anything to do with Quantum Leap?
Does what have anything to do with Quantum Leap?
What we're just talking about right now.
Trainspotting?
Yeah.
I don't know. Does it?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. No, not
except
at
for
all.
your favorite Scots.
No, but we have cool people in the chat, and I like to hang out with them too.
As do I.
But you're right. We're at the end of our Quantum Leap content at this moment. And so,
What?
Sorry, nothing. I clicked the wrong button on my computer, but I'm okay. We're okay.
We're all fine here. So yeah, no, I'm sorry. I apologize for dragging my feet. I suppose that is the end of the Quantum Leap in the loop and the stuff and the awesome. Thank you so much, Jill.
You're welcome.
Where do you do things on the internet?
I do things on my channel, Antiderivative Jill, and I talk a lot about science fiction. So far, I've talked about Star Trek, the original series. I've talked about UFO. I talked about. I actually started my channel talking about the Orville and season 3, and I reviewed all of the Orville seasons 1 and 2 also. And I plan to do lots more. This Friday, tomorrow, I'm going to review Galaxy Quest for my Plumbing Tea Time show. And it's one of my favorite movies. I could stream about it right now. I don't even need to prepare for it, but I will prepare for it anyway, so it's going to be even more fun.
Yay. Mm-hmm. Well, that's fantastic. And I do appreciate being able to stream with you over on Pop Culture Curator when we talk about Star Trek the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And obviously, every time you and I get to talk about Quantum Leap, such a weird show. I just don't know what this show is.
I know, but you know what? We got through it pretty quick compared to most of our reviews, so we did pretty well considering the episodes.
You always like it when you're let off the hook early.
Well, when it's episodes like these, yes.
Fair
No,
enough.
I don't mean that they're bad. It's just that they're, come on, when are we getting to the meat of this? I know that there's something that's going to happen with the actual Quantum Leap project, with Sam, with Al and Ziggy and all the people who are actually making this kind of thing happen, and their actual mission of trying to get Sam home, because it's great that he's doing all these things for all these people, but he needs to be rescued himself.
Yes, but I do think that there is something that really builds up the legend of Sam Becket because he does so much good.
And that's the only thing I like about this episode, is that we get to see him kind of be selfish just a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
I like this. I'm gonna stay here. Like, we don't ever see that from him.
Did
So
he have the
that was
sex?
different. Probably.
Okay.
Did you see that kiss? I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
I don't know. Anyway, so I can't wait until next. Are we doing one next week or no?
Oh, right. No. I'm not next week, because it's getting close to Christmas and I gotta do stuff. I got
Right.
Christmas stuff. I might still stream, but only things that I don't have to prepare for. Or that I know I don't have to prepare for this, but I do. I prefer it.
Anyway, I suppose we will leap when we leap again.
Yeah. Well, that'll be. Let's see. What's the week
Later.
after? The 29th. We can leap
Oh,
then.
come on. You'll still have things to do. We'll
think
meet
I'll
you
still
back
be-
here again.
Next year.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? Take a couple weeks off. Get lost in the quantum.
Yeah, but I'll still probably want to do Star Trek.
Oh yeah, no, we'll still
Oh.
hang out. We'll still do
You know
stuff.
what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's too close to Christmas. Well, now this is a business meeting, but yeah, maybe.
It's public transparency.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I'll be doing Star Trek on Monday and Tuesday, but then after that, I'm taking off for the rest of the year. Except for I'll still be here, just having fun.
Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, except for I will be at this here channel that you are watching. We are going to be talking Batman Returns. That is the only commitment that I think any of us really have, isn't it, Jill?
Yeah. No, I'll be there too. I love that movie so much.
So that is the big one. Yeah. And that'll be on the Fantasmagorium on Capes, Crusaders, and Cowls, or some such iteration of that.
Yeah, Michael Keaton was my introduction to Batman when I was a little kid. So it's a lot of fun stuff. And this movie I rewatched a bunch. So I can't wait for that.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, I suppose. Oh, wow. I just peaked my mic. I apologize for everyone on headphones.
No, actually, you sounded fine.
Are you done? Are we good?
We're good.
Whose turn is it? I think it's your turn.
It's definitely mine.
Okay. So do you want to say it?
Oh, boy.